Guess you shouldn't start the camera partway through a process. You forget where you're at. Now let's start the cut. Alright, that was the last cut for this particular phase. So what I've got going on here, I'll draw up a little diagram of what I'm doing, but I've got, what, 3 more cuts, I think, after this of different angles with different cutters to get where I want to be with this thing. I'm going to rotate or increment one more tooth back to the starting point and make sure that the cutter will pass through properly, letting me know that hopefully I didn't make a screw up again this time. That feels good. Okay. Leave it out here and I'll bring you in for a closer look at what I've got. All right, so I am using my 60-degree cutter at this point, and I'm cutting, let's see if I can show this to you somehow. cutting this side of the upper angle that I want to cut for the teeth. And I'll show you the drawing of what I've got in mind here in just a second. The angle of the dividing head has stayed exactly the same. I thought I was going to be able to tilt the dividing head to get this angle for these additional cuts, but that didn't work out quite the way I'd hoped. So I wound up tilting the head of the milling machine instead to get there. So the next cut, I'm going to have to tilt approximately or just shy of 12 degrees that way. One mistake or one oversight that I've noticed in the process of doing this that I wish I would have realized is before I started doing any of the cuts for the teeth, what I should have done is I should have come up with a way to positively clock this original gear to the blank so that when I go to set all the angles up with the cutters by eye, I always have the original gear clocked exactly in line with the existing teeth on this. I had to do it by eyeball this last time, and I'm going to probably wind up having to do it by eyeball on the next 3 times, but if I would have put like, this one has a, I don't know if you can see it or not, has a hole drilled through it for an oil galley. I should have gone ahead and put that hole, a matching hole, on that gear so that I could have pinned the two together or something to keep them, you know. Anyways, you guys get the idea. But let me get down the dry erase board and I'll show you what I got going on here. Oh, I didn't lose you yet. How about that? I accidentally hit the power button again. I got to get a phone cover for this thing. There we go. Okay, try this one more time. Not working very well. Okay, at any rate, let's see here. All right, so what I started off with basically was that. So what I just got done doing was cutting this angle here. Now in the process of cutting that, I also took a little bit out of this side as well. The next angle, well, once I get done putting the matching one on this side, the next angle after this is going to be back with the slitting saw, doing something like that right there. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, I would have, you know, a little arc, but after spending a little bit of time looking at this thing, looking at the the teeth profile with a magnifying glass, it almost looks like it's a. So by the time I get done making those other cuts, I think it's going to turn out just fine and dandy. So anyways, it took me, I don't know, probably the better part of an hour or so just to get this angle set up, and with the getting the gear blank clocked properly, with the original gear temporarily mounted on the face of it. So between that and then of course bringing the gear blank into the right depth so that I wasn't cutting too deep but cutting deep enough, hopefully. Anyways, that's where I'm at. Slow progress, but once I get the machine set up, it really doesn't take me too long to make all these 36 cuts around it. So, and of course, part of the problem is just trying to come up with a good game plan for how to execute this, because I mean, let's face it, every hour in this shop is amateur hour. So I'm doing the best I can with the limited knowledge and limited tools that I've got. So far so good. At the end of the day, or at the end of this project, I should have a functioning bevel gear that I should be able to use. So I'll catch you guys later.